Welcome to Psychology Truth, the place where we don't chase answers. We understand them. If you click this video, it's probably not by accident. Something inside you feels unresolved. She's gone silent, no messages, no calls, and yet you feel her. You sense the pull. The weight of what's not being said lingers like smoke in the air. You've asked yourself, is she really done? Or is she waiting for me to reach out? Before you make your move, pause. Because this moment, it's not just about her. It's about you, your reaction, your energy, your alignment. A stoic man doesn't just respond. He reflects, he doesn't just reach out. He recognizes the why behind every impulse. So today, we break down the 11 signs that she might be waiting for you to reach out, not just surface signs, but subtle emotional cues, quiet invitations, and the psychology behind her silence. This isn't about games, it's about grounding, not about reuniting, but rising. Let's begin. 1. Her silence isn't cold, it's calculated. When someone truly wants nothing to do with you, they cut, block, delete. Remove all traces, but if she's quiet, and yet hasn't severed the digital thread between you, that's not a door slamming shut. That's a pause, that space created with intention. A stoic man doesn't panic when communication stops. He doesn't double text or spiral into anxiety. He observes, because silence is often a move. And every move requires a response, not from emotion, but from character. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's silence. It could be rejection, or it could be a test, not to manipulate you, but to reveal you. Most men see silence as absence. A Stoic sees it as strategy too. The door is slightly open, but she didn't invite you in. You're not blocked. She didn't unfollow you. You can still see her online activity. She didn't disappear. She just stopped talking. That's not a glitch, that's a message. When someone wants to be completely done with you, they slam the door, no trace. But when the door is left ajar, that's hesitation, a question without a voice. Will he notice the stoic response? You see the door, but you don't walk through it unless it's opened with clarity. Mixed signals aren't your cue. They're her confusion, and your role isn't to decode that confusion. It's to remain unmoved by it. A man seeking validation will chase ambiguity. A man seeking truth, he walks past it. Because real strength isn't found in knocking on half-open doors. It's in knowing your worth. Doesn't require an invite. Then her stories speak louder than her texts. No direct messages, no calls. But suddenly she's posting that song you both loved. That memory from 3 summers ago. That quote about missing something. Real coincidence? Probably not. A woman who truly wants silence doesn't curate digital nostalgia. She's speaking, just not with her words. The stoic man doesn't overanalyze. He doesn't treat her story like a secret code to unlock. He observes, notes it, and lets it pass. Why? Because her emotional broadcasts are not your emergency. They are her process, her internal conflict made public. But you're not her fixer, you're her former connection. And how you hold your center now, that's what defines your growth. 4 mutual friends start dropping her name subtly. You didn't ask, you weren't prying. But suddenly, she's been asking about you. Or she mentioned that trip you took together. Friends become messengers, and then they don't even realize it. Or maybe they do. Either way. It's not random when a woman isn't ready to reach out directly. She sends echoes through your shared circles. But here's the trap: most men react. They assume this is their moment to explain, to return to fix. Not the stoic, you hear the whisper, but you don't move toward it. You let her curiosity remain just that, curiosity. Let her wonder about your silence. Let her feel the echo of her name, not triggering you anymore. And that's presence. That's peace. 5, she stays in your digital orbit. She watches your stories, likes a post from 3 months ago. Her name pops up in your people. You may know, coincidence maybe. But more often it's calculated proximity. She wants to be close enough to be seen, but far enough to stay safe. This is emotional orbiting, and if you're not careful, it pulls you right back into the gravity of her unresolved emotions. The Stoic man notices but doesn't pursue, because attention does not equal intention. Marcus Aurelius said, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig." So dig inward, not through her feed, but through your own responses. Why do you want to reach out? Is it clarity or craving? Her digital presence should never eclipse your inner peace. 6, her energy changes without a word. Nothing's been said, but suddenly you feel her again. Her energy softens, her vibe shifts. No texts, no calls, but something has changed. Maybe it's her content, maybe it's your intuition, maybe it's just that old soul pull you can't logically explain. Energy doesn't lie, but even here, especially here, you don't move unless she does. Because what you're sensing isn't confirmation, it's connection, and connections don't always require communication. Seneca warned us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. So don't suffer in stories you tell yourself. Stay in reality if her energy is truly changing. It will reach you with action, not just essence 7. She's triggered by your stillness. You've gone silent focused, grounded, and now she starts reacting. Not reaching out, but reacting. Posting more, subtweeting. Referencing ideas you used to talk about. Why? Because your absence is echoing, and the one who used to get your attention with ease. And now she's feeling the void. The Stoic doesn't respond with smugness. He doesn't treat this like revenge. He recognizes it for what it is, the natural result of withdrawing energy. You don't chase validation. You don't dance because the music changed. You move to your own rhythm always. 8, she creates digital proximity loops. You comment on a mutual friend's post. She replies, you like something. She likes something back, it's subtle. A loop, not direct communication. Just circular motion. But a Stoic doesn't chase the tail of the digital serpent. He knows a loop is not a path forward. It's just a pattern, and patterns, unless broken, keep you stuck. So break the loop, stay quiet. Because if she truly wants to speak to you, she will not with emojis, not with passive likes, but with clarity. Her pain surfaces in passive ways. Maybe a friend tells you she's been emotional lately. Or you hear she's not herself. Maybe you see her out, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. Pain doesn't always scream. Sometimes it's silent, but her pain. It's not your cue to return, not unless she invites you with truth. A Stoic doesn't return out of guilt or nostalgia. He returns only if the foundation is real. Compassion doesn't mean reconnection. You can care and still stay distant. 10, she reflects your growth back at you. Maybe she starts posting about healing, about growth, about accountability, and something about it feels familiar. Like she's echoing the journey you began first. That's not coincidence, that's resonance. But resonance isn't reunion. Her evolution is hers, yours is yours. And if your paths align again, it will be because they were meant to, not because you reacted to her breadcrumbs 11. You feel her absence, but you no longer suffer from it. And this is the final sign, the strongest one. You still think of her. You still notice the silence, but it no longer rattles your spirit. You feel her absence, yes, but you don't suffer for it. You've made peace with the not knowing, and in doing so you've become someone she'll feel even in your silence. Because a grounded man doesn't just leave. He leaves an impression closing. So is she waiting for you to reach out? Maybe, maybe not. But that's not the real question. The real question is, are you so centered in your peace that it no longer matters? That's stoic power, that's emotional strength. And that's where you need to be. Not just for her, but for yourself. Drop a comment if this hit home. If you're in that space of silence, leave this below. I respond with presence, not panic. Let's build a community of grounded men who don't chase. They choose. This is Psychology Truth. Until next time, stay centered, stay calm, and remember, not every silence is rejection. Sometimes it's a whisper in disguise. We never know. We are You